fans, and welcome to another episode of Silver Screams Reacts. Today we are looking at the trailer for the Castlevania
Vengeance
Netflix movie?
series.
I think it's a straight up series? Yeah. Okay, see, this is... She knows more than I do, clearly.
Castlevania Vengeance, the Netflix animated series.
Which, I was gonna say, if it's a movie then I'm looking forward to it way more than the Death Note trailer.
That's not a high bar.
Oh, no.
That's a real low bar. The bar's on the floor.
Also, yeah. I was gonna say, and introducing our third host, but she seems to have, chosen
It's
to
winter.
abstain.
Y'all know winter.
She's chosen to abstain from her opinions.
From commentary.
Anyway, I personally don't have a huge connection to the Castlevania franchise. Ironically, the only Castlevania game I've ever played was Castlevania 64, which is generally considered not really part of the official timeline, and also just generally considered a really bad game, too.
I wanted to be the one to fill your dark soul with light.
That was Devil May Cry.
Was that Devil May Cry?
Yeah, you're not even close.
Well, fuck.
That was Dante. So I'm guessing you don't really have a connection to Castlevania either.
There's vampires.
There's vampires. What I'm really hoping is, even though I don't have a huge connection to the Castlevania franchise, what I'm hoping is that this animated series that they're doing is basically a Symphony of the Night adaptation, which is considered the best Castlevania game, which I think has the most interesting premise. So for anybody unfamiliar, overall, the Castlevania series is Dracula gets defeated and resurrected time and time again. Every time he gets resurrected, the Belmont family has taken it upon themselves.
Shells out someone else.
Yeah, the Belmont family has taken it upon himself to defeat him every time he gets resurrected, and they throw in some variations here or there. But usually that's
figure out how to murder him for good. Or
yeah.
you think they'd pull a Helsing and be like, "You're mine."
The problem is that cultists keep bringing him back to life. And
Cultists.
every now and then, occasionally, he'll get reincarnated as a person who just wants to go about their daily life. And cultists are like, "You're the reincarnation of Dracula! You must be evil!" And he's like, "I'm not about that. That doesn't sound like fun for me." Occasionally. And Symphony of the Night is about Dracula's son, Alucard. So I think that would be really, really fun.
Dracula's not real good at names, is he?
No, he's terrible at them.
I'm just going to put it backwards.
Mr. Alucard! Which is funny because actually the first time I heard the name Alucard, it actually didn't occur to me that it was Dracula backwards. I want to say I was 12 at the time.
Oh, my first introduction was Helsing, and I was like, "Oh, hey!" Yeah, that occurred.
When I did figure it out, I was like, "Oh, that's not very clever." Anyway, let's not waste
Not good at names.
any more time. Let's watch the trailer and click. That's not a click thing that works.
Nope.
Nope.
Oh, hey, July 7th. That's gonna be a thing.
And play.
Hey, look, it's a Nintendo.
Oh, look at that! Oh, that's adorable. That's adorable.
I'm just amazed that the Nintendo still works. Especially since this seems to be a really deep
Oh, look at that!
at all.
Oh, that's beautiful.
A ruthless plot.
Kevin
It's a
Spacey.
true story, a crime Play trailer. Yeah, that'd be helpful. Thank you.
Oh, that's precious.
Oh, it was a Netflix cartridge. Kevin, that was House of Cards, the Kevin Spacey bit.
Ah, okay.
There is a darkness upon the land.
Is there?
Ooh.
Dead people.
Get it? Because he was
Savior is
Vlad the
needed.
Impaler.
Who are you?
Hmm? Is that Simon?
I don't know.
The man who'll kill Dracula.
Ooh. So this was less of a trailer and more of a teaser.
It's absolutely a teaser.
I like it though.
I'm trying to figure out what the style reminds me of. It's very old school style.
It personally, it reminds me of two things. It reminds me of Legend of Korra style of animation a little bit. But the other thing that it really reminds me of is Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust.
Bloodlust, and a little part of me is going Escaflowne.
I'm not getting
Not with the noses, but like with the shadowing.
I'm not getting a lot of Escaflowne vibes, but that's because I've only seen the movie. But yeah, I'm definitely getting shades of Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust, which
was probably the
one
point.
of my faves when it comes to vampire movies. I'll have to do a video on that sometime. Oh, that movie is so ridiculous and great.
I don't think I appreciated it when I first watched it. I thought it was hilarious.
It's so weird.
Well, and I also watched it as a double feature with the original one, which was also a trip. We wound up with there's a Visine for that joke, which tells you about when I watched the original one.
Okay, well, again, based on this, it looks like it's more... It looks like it's more about the Belmont family than it would be about Alucard, but I'm not really sure.
I would straight up watch an anime about the Belmont family drama.
Of course.
And then Alucard comes in like episode 9 out of 10.
Hey guys, what's going on?
It's like they can't find him and he's just vacationing in Bora Bora under a parasol or something. Like, I don't want to do this. I want a vacation. I want to go nuts.
I'm wondering if like the season finale would be you think you're getting to the end of Dracula's castle and then it does what the game does and inverts the castle and then you that would be amazing and also really stupid.
And like the very last scene of the very last episode is the castle flipping and him just hitting the ceiling and it going to black. Because fuck you, gravity.
Ba-dum-tish.
And then we wake up on the ceiling, on the floor of the St. Anne, wondering what happened. And underwater. I've
had many a conversation with my little brother about what the contractors for Dracula's castle in the Castlevania games must be like. And the special kind of hell he puts them through. He's like, wait. You want a room made entirely out of spikes. Okay, yeah, sure, we'll do that. We'll do that then.
We're gonna make it last?
Like, really?
As in, like, the final room we make, not as in it'll last forever.
I mean...
It will last forever, we do guarantee
An evil vampire immortal gets bored waiting for a Belmont to come of age, and he has to have his hobbies to keep himself occupied.
Like murder.
Murder and architecture and interior design.
So, building a murder house.
Watch, it turns out Dracula's not even evil. He's just really eccentric.
He is trying so hard to get his own HGTV show, you guys.
Really
so hard.
And he's trying, like, it's even more difficult because television hasn't been invented yet. So it's really hard out there for an immortal vampire overlord.
And people just don't want to take tours because then they hit the room of spikes and nobody's really impressed when he flips the castle upside down because all the stairs are on the wrong side.
You know what's kind of cool though?
What?
In the Castlevania games, Death is a lackey of Dracula for some reason. I have no idea why.
Which, as a Discworld fan, is some bullshit.
It totally is. But I have no idea why the Grim Reaper would be a lackey of Dracula in any canon, but it's a thing that happens in the Castlevania.
Well, I mean, when times are hard, you gotta do a little side hustle to make money. I mean, some of us drive for Uber, and some of us do Postmates, and some of us grade exams,
and some of us serve the Dark Lord of the vampires. Like, you do what you gotta do.
He has really good dental insurance, which is important for Death because it's all bones.
It's all bones. Calcium, it's really important. It's important to floss and
it does a body good.
See your dentist at least twice a year.
So yeah, Dracula provides really good dental insurance, and that's just a benefit that Death can't get anywhere else.
No, you really can't.
He has a pre-existing condition. He can't get insured.
No.
The pre-existing condition being that he's already dead.
It just got real. I will say
I mean, Obama hasn't been born yet, so obviously there's no Obamacare.
Oh, Lord. Speaking of tyrants and real world horror.
Yes, but one of them has style and panache.
gosh.
That's none of my business.
Can we vote for Dracula to be our president?
No, that's a bad idea.
I feel like Dracula would be a less scary conservative president than actual Donald Trump. At the very least, he would be way more open to immigration.
At the least, he would tell us what coffee means.
At the very least, he'd also definitely bolster up healthcare to make sure that, people had lots of blood in blood banks.
Okay,
There
I
would
need
be
to go
blood
put more
drives.
vodka in my drink if we're going to have this conversation.
Anyway, that is neither here nor there. Talking about this
It's
trailer,
everywhere.
again, even though I don't really have a huge personal connection to the Castlevania franchise, I love the aesthetic. I mean, this, unlike the Death Note trailer, which we talked about at the top, this looks like it was made for people who love the games, who grew up with them. Again, with the old NES cartridge, and it was
Given how dusty that room looked, I'm gobsmacked that NES still worked.
very. Are you kidding? Like Nintendos were built to last. Game Boy Colors from back in the day still work.
I know, I have mine.
An old school Game Boy that a vet took with him overseas got
Hit by an IED.
It was, and then he replaced the monitor and put the cartridge back in, and it still worked.
No, he couldn't take the cartridge out. It was Tetris and it was fused in there.
Well, he replaced the monitor and Tetris still worked, and it was amazing. But again, neither here nor there. This looks like it was made for people who love Castlevania. And I'm saying that again as somebody who's a little bit of an outsider, because I was really young when I played Castlevania 64. I didn't have any other experience with the franchise, so I thought it was cool and I thought it was great, when really everybody else who played it was like, this is garbage. So like, the one bit of connection I have to the franchise is disregarded by everybody else.
And obviously I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about.
For anybody who actually did have that connection, this looks like it's intentionally speaking to them, or at the very least, intentionally marketing to them. I feel like at the very least, the marketing knows what it's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would venture a guess that the series probably does too. Again, unlike the Death Note movie that Netflix is doing.
The lowest of bars. It's down there somewhere.
There is not enough of this in the world to make that less painful.
Not enough bars for that bar.
Nope.
So yes.
Anyway, I think that just about does it.
I
Katie,
think so.
where can people go if they want to keep up with you?
You can follow me all over the social medias and on YouTube at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. If you want to see us react to non-horror things, they live on that channel.
And I'm Megan. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the Menguin. That's TheMenguin. I almost went into my AfterBuzz spiel a little bit.
Hard not to.
Be sure to follow Silver Screams at Silver_Screams. Like us on Facebook, all that jazz. We want to know from you guys, what did you guys think of the trailer? Were you big Castlevania fans growing up? And what's your favorite vampire anime?
I was just going to go with straight up horror anime, but that's good.
Ooh, there we go. Again, kind of a no-brainer. Mine is Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. It is gorgeous. Go and watch it. Even if the plot's nonsense, but it's so pretty and it still holds up.
I like Haunted Junction.
Nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that.
You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you?
You've mentioned it before. We've had discussions
It's
about
not really horror. I don't care.
it. That's okay.
It's not scary.
Something tells me that if it were scary, you probably wouldn't have watched it. But again, let us know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you all next time. Blah, blah, blah. I did not say blah, blah, blah.